Aha! So here is an update, a very interesting update that might interest those who have been following the way I've been trying to balance justice or even find justice for women. Agnes Tirop 5 years ago was murdered, and I think our case in Kenya is gone cold. I don't think there's any way I'm seeing it being resurrected, so to speak, for justice being resurrected or even being, yeah. So, but it's interesting how this unfolds in Kenya, in a country that's ignores or disregards the rule of law. But here is an interesting one for you. What about this for justice and for how selective and absurd, and it has a capriciousness and almost a kind of repugnance. Nah, though I might take back some of the words I've used on this one because a young man was murdered. His name is a Kenyan-born Ugandan athlete. Kenyan-born Ugandan athlete. Which is a Benjamin Kiplangat. He was murdered in some highway between Eldoret and Iten, and justice was quickly found for him. The, the the murder suspects, and they were found guilty. And here we have Peter Ushuru, who is 30 years old, and David Akai, 25, for killing him in 2023. So that was about last year, December, when Kiblagat was killed. And the expediency and the lightning speed of finding justice for Kiblagat is interesting, very, very interesting. Yes, I'm appreciating that at least somebody is held accountable, that we find justice for Benjamin Kiblangat. And the judge Justin Ruben Nyakundi, says that the CCTV can be seen that these alleged murderers were the ones who perpetuated and carried out the murder of Kiblagat. So he says the evidence of the video shows that they can point to the fact that they were the ones who are the killers. Interesting, and I'm glad that works. Justice has been served, and these two men are going to be put away in prison in Kenya, in Eldoret High Court. Good, yes, good. And the question I have is how selective, because the killer of Agnes Tirop, Ibrahim Korir, who has even confessed to having killed Agnes, is still free. Justice has never been found for Agnes Tirop. She's a woman. She was murdered by this man who was bailed out and is roaming the country, as I said in some of my episodes. And justice has not even been pursued. There's no attempt. But there's an expediency when it came to Benjamin Kiblagat. And the cameras, so to speak, the science of evidence points to these killers. As I celebrate this, I'm asking, is it selective justice? Is it he's a patriarch thinking that he was a man? And so we find justice for him. What about the woman who was killed by the partner or the ex-husband? I'm running out of trying to explain this one. While I celebrate people, I celebrate any form of justice. I wonder why justice is not coming for these women, and she's not the only one, as we know. Femicide is an issue in that part of the world, and why is justice not being pursued with this same urgency? It's just a question I'm pondering with, looking at the news and looking at how things unfold in Kenya. Agnes Tirop, the man who killed her, is still out there, and the government knows about it. And yet, for the one who killed Benjamin, Peter Ushuru and David Akai, according to the CCTV, according to the judge, they could be seen to be the ones perpetuating it, and they're the killers. Abraham Korir he's a killer. we know that, but he's still roaming the country. It's a question that I'm asking, and I think the absurdity of it all, the injustice of the whole system, and the delay and the lack of, and the cold case of Agnes Tirop still has those questions for me. So that was just me trying to balance justice, if it can be found in those terms. Yes, Agnes Tirop, justice has not been served.